here for HotCars.com. I'm here at the Motoring Club in Marina del Rey with the EarthCruiser Terranova. We've got Lance Gillies, founder of EarthCruiser, and Colin Cronin here, and they're going to give us a little walk around of this truck. It's a big overlanding rig, and it's going to be part of an Omaze giveaway that's closing September 1. Well, how did you get the idea to evolve from the larger Mitsubishi Fuso packages that you were doing to a pickup truck based overland?
Something we wanted to do for a very long time. I mean, we touched on it a couple of times. Of course, we've got cab over trucks that have a very specific role, and that's excellent. However, we saw a change, and believe it or not, it comes back to emissions, where more and more people were understanding the limitations of diesel motors. More and more people saying with this new beautiful V8 they could afford that for more overland travel, a diesel engine, a modern diesel engine wasn't really ideal. And so when the petrol and gas engine come along, that actually changed something for us. So when that happened, that was actually for us to pull the trigger. Let's do it.
Colin just drove this thing down from Bend, Oregon. Colin, what have you enjoyed about driving this thing down so far?
It's a beautiful truck inside and out. And, I was able to drive 75, 80 miles an hour, and with this 7.3 liter gas, I was still getting 10.5 miles per gallon. I was up over the Grapevine. There was, up over Shasta. Comfortable.
Well, that's a good little intro, but obviously the big thing about rigs like this is what kind of features, what kind of amenities, how comfortable is it on the inside? So let's take a look at the whole cab over construction.
Welcome into the Terranova.
Well, as you can see, we've got the mood lighting here for Colin and I.
Setting it up, whatever color you'd like.
You've got a remote control. You've got a queen size bed, or space for a queen size bed. It also folds up, so you have more kitchen countertop space.
Such a well-engineered space, and everything has a purpose. There's nothing that's here just because it's here. There's a why behind everything, and that's kind of the EarthCruiser way. You have your whole control panel here, your Webasto air heater here, your air conditioning vent pops out right here. You can integrate an iPad to your Season screen here, so you can control everything from in the cab while you're approaching camp. Feels super spacious. You have that high ceiling, or at least it feels very high with the reflectiveness.
A little reflective. That was the first thing I noticed, was how spacious it actually feels, because the lines here continue up a little higher than they actually do. So it creates an illusion in your mind. That increases the comfort.
So plenty of storage, right? We use heavy-duty ABS self-lubricating plastic, and it again goes back to the why. We don't use any drawer slides. For this application, being on the trails, being off-road and on kind of gritty terrain, drawer slides inevitably, nuts and bolts will become loose and fail, or they'll squeak, crack, and rattle. Tilt-out trash can. I love this. And there's room underneath it to store all your cleaning supplies. We have the 130-liter isotherm fridge. Freezer as well in there. Duo mini induction cooktop. These things are incredibly efficient. Boil water in about 3 minutes. Ooh. And then, so when customers, join the EarthCruiser family, they get to pick their custom backsplashes, their countertops, the bedding color, the seats. In this area here, we have the toilet shower area. So this pops open. We have a composting toilet. This is also the shower area. So we have a curtain that drops down right here. And then you have your quick connect hose, which plugs in right here. One of my absolute favorite features. We have all the drawers here. Crawl right into bed and you're enjoying this beautiful 360-degree view from in bed.
Well, while you're in bed, a lot of people are probably wondering, what about the ventilation and the climate control in this camper? Well, you'll notice that there are 3 layers of protection from the elements here, so you can open up to full mesh and close the clear plastic to enable that 360-degree view, or you can close it up all the way and have a little bit of privacy if you so desire. How much water can this whole thing hold? What are you doing for water purification?
Sure, absolutely. Again, one of my favorite features about the Terranova, and going back to the whys. So this holds 56 gallons of fresh water, and we have 2 water filtration systems. So standard in the Terranova is a post-tank water filtration. It's a Seagull water filter, and it comes out of your drinking tap. So you have one here and one outside in the locker box.
And when you're out there for longer, it's not just sleeping for 2. This table situation that I'm sitting in, this folds out and this turns into another bedding area. But let's check out the outside and go through some of the storage and also that incredible canopy.
These different radiuses all over the vehicle, none of them are an accident. What's important to us, and this is where the large vehicle manufacturers can be very, very helpful to vehicle manufacturers, small vehicle manufacturers like us, if you talk to them, because they know where the air moves around their vehicle as it drives down the road. They spend a lot of time on wind noise, road noise, etc. So if we work within the parameters that they were working towards with their engineers, we can complement that and not do away all their good work. The Terranova, its front rear axle weights are where Ford wanted them to be. It's not a case for us to go and put the weights in silly places and then put stupid suspension under it to make it kind of look and ride right. That's silly. We work with their engineers, work with what their engineers had in mind, and that way we can build a vehicle from the tyres up like any vehicle should be made, and we don't have to rely on silly oversized tyres that are not nice to drive, they're expensive to find, almost impossible to change on the side of the road. None of that makes any sense to us. So our suspension is nothing overly complicated, nor should it be. It should be easy to maintain, do the job, give you the wheel travel you're looking for, but also, as Colin mentioned, corner at 75 miles an hour. This thing does it in spades. Again, why? Because we're just using engineering. That's what we do. The tyres, for us, we mentioned earlier, when we do all of our testing, they're all at maximum PSI. So right now, I think Colin said these are at 90 or something like that. They don't have to be anywhere near that high, but we do it on purpose, is because, again, the tyres should not be part of your suspension system. They're called tyres, they're not called suspension, right? It's different.
So show me some of the storage features,
Sure.
This incredible awning that is, in fact, gigantic.
Yeah, small things, right? So we'll get to the storage in a minute if you like. But yeah, so we have a full wraparound awning, which again clearly gives you a ton of living space. Takes a minute to put out.
Yeah.
Thereabouts.
Let's check out the rear, because one of my early questions was, I spy 2 trailer hitches here, and I asked, why are there 2 trailer hitches?
Okay, so both are rated. This one's rated higher. You don't have to have it. The vehicle, these things are phenomenal towing vehicles, obviously. But I call it the caravan 2-step, whereas if you are towing something too high, not loaded overly well, the trailer behind you is going to want to come and step out and visit you. Not a wonderful feeling. A way to get around that is lower the center of the turning moment of your trailer hitch. That's what that does. It'll give you a high capacity for your trailer, but also it will tow better. Terrible departure angle. Surprise, surprise. So that's what we put on too. Is that if you're going to do your fabulous overland trip and you don't want to take a trailer, you might want to throw a motorbike on the back or a couple of bikes or something, you can unbolt that one, no big deal. It's not going to hurt anything.
Maintenance on the EarthCruiser Terranova sounds like it's pretty easy because they've purposefully made it so that everything is easily accessible.
Small details, We spend a lot of time in the bush. We know what it's like. So these inspection covers can easily come off. No tools, just quarter turns. And that gives you access to things that might give you a headache. So water filters, air compressor, hot water heater, anything in there that you might need to do some basic service on. At home, you want to make sure everything's looking right before you leave. You might have some issue in the bush somewhere. It's not a big deal. You're not crawling around on your back in the dirt, in the mud, getting bitten by crocodiles, trying to figure out why your air compressor's not going.
So that's a little walk around tour of the outside and inside of the living quarters of the Terranova. But the big question is, obviously, how does this thing drive? here we are. We're driving the F-350. It's the Lariat with the upfitters package, which gets us all of these little control switches. But the real question is, how does a big new truck drive with the EarthCruiser Terranova conversion? I got Colin here once again to explain some of this to me. And the first thing that we have to talk about is EarthCruiser's proprietary kinetic mounting system that attaches the box to the chassis itself. So Colin, take it away, please.
Absolutely. And so, you know, the whole premise of the Terranova is built around what we have tried and tested on EarthCruisers for the last 13 years. So we use a polyurethane kinetic mounting system, which allows for the house to have some movement, but really the chassis is doing the work so the house can stay neutral.
And we're driving along. I just made a pretty tight right-handed turn, and I didn't really feel that pinched on the right side as I went around. I've got these big mirrors, which definitely helps. No rear view center mirror. Is there a backup camera for helping you back this big thing up?
Absolutely. So we put the backup camera in between the two tow hitches, and it's almost looking up. It gives you a good view of up and what's surrounding while you're backing up.
This truck, though, I believe, Colin, you told me this has the 7.3 liter gasoline engine.
Yep.
I'm impressed by how much power it's got. We're just cruising along. I'm not like drag racing or anything, but I'm not feeling sluggish in any way.
No, it's got so much get up and go. I mean, it's a huge, powerful motor, right? And the gas engine, you can tow up to 12,000 pounds, and the diesel Ford F-350, which we're also offering this on, is up to 24,000 pounds.
We're about to get on the freeway, and I'll not floor it, but accelerate passionately, shall we say.
There you go, I like that.
Well, we've planned our trip out to include this blast down the 90 freeway that goes from Marina del Rey, basically to South Culver City. And we're going over 70 on the freeway right now. And yeah, there might be just like slightly more body roll, and you can definitely tell that something's going on behind you. But for the most part, I just feel like I'm driving a pickup truck. Now, we got to get into the numbers a little bit. I think this thing costs $249, including the truck to start.
Starts at $289, and that's including the truck. And then, you know, we want people to build their truck. We want them to feel like it is theirs.
The reason we're all here today is because this is part of an Omaze raffle, fundraising, charitable giveaway. The Omaze giveaway benefits, I believe it's a foundation that provides funds to cancer survivors and cancer patients so that they can get outdoors. It's sort of in line with the EarthCruiser ethos of allowing people to get off the grid, go out and enjoy the world outside of city life.
Absolutely right. So the nonprofit they're donating to is First Ascent, and I think they specifically focus on getting younger people who have survived through cancer out on adventures and experiencing nature and doing everything that we all love to do, right?
Is there anything that I haven't even brought up that in my amateur status I wouldn't even know to ask you?
It's really important to remember that when overlanding, when off-roading, whatever level or skill set you have, you know, at the end of the day, we are still stewards of the land, and you know, it's really important to leave no trace, and that's a huge thing that we push at EarthCruiser, is to maintain the land and take care of it.
We're about to pull onto a road that's being completely chewed up. They're repaving it, and that'll be another little test of the sound dampening and the wind noise and the clunking. I see a bunch of construction.
Hopefully we can get in here.
we may not be able to get back to where we need to go. This is what we're dealing with, trying to return the EarthCruiser. They gave us no warning that the road would be completely torn up, but it is a nice test of this rugged overlanding build. Here we go, dropping down into the torn up concrete. Absolutely silent. Now, we're not going a million miles an hour, but it's been a ton of fun getting a chance to drive this thing. So I want to thank you, Colin, for chaperoning and educating me and our viewers here at HotCars.
Yeah.
I hope you all learned something today about EarthCruiser, the Terranova, and the Omaze giveaway. Thank you all for watching, and once again, as always, please like this video and subscribe to our channel.
Thank you guys.